Snaps that when we've had Cortell and Gerald Willis and even getting Anthony Moten back and those guys has really helped us be able to roll all those guys because again in a 4-3 defense your tackle play is really where it all begins.
Have all been playing at a high level? All five have had to face Cortell before they
well, like as coaches we all believe they'll have a ton more improvement left in them. But from what we've asked of them from the first 3 weeks, we're pleased with how they played.
Manny, the three true freshman linebackers, how would you say each are doing after 3 weeks, and what does this mean? This game, how is this going to be different?
Well, I think as a coach, I think you see the ups and downs that they play with. They don't all play their best in every game. You can tell there's one game that maybe one guy played better than the other two, or they're learning how even in the first 3 weeks, the grind of college football, and not feeling 100% and having to learn how to play when your shoulders sore. So they're coming to terms with that. Again, even when we talk about after FAMU, though, will they play fast? And the answer to this point has been yes. And that's the challenge in this game against Georgia Tech's offense. Can they process what they've practiced and play fast in the game? And that's what we'll find out on Saturday.
What is Pinckney doing in particular to be excelling at this point?
Well, when he plays fast. That's what he does. He's got a mentality where he understands where he fits in the scheme and doesn't overcomplicate things and trusts his reads, and he goes. And he can go. He has speed, and he knows he has speed, and he's able to use it. Now, again, the idea of being consistent, as the offensive linemen start getting bigger and putting hands on him and being able to shed blocks and that's the next challenge for him.
How do you feel about Zach and his development through 3 weeks?
You can see the arrow pointing up. He's improving. Really, for sure, played better against FAU than he did against FAMU, which is to be expected, and played well against App State as well. So he's getting more comfortable with the things that we ask him to do, which just makes sense with more experience.
What are the challenges for them change this week when you're going against the triple option?
In some ways they change, but in some ways they're exactly the same. They're still a key. He's going to go to the right or the left. And the question is, how quickly can we get there, and how do we treat blockers when they come on us, and how do we treat the ball carrier when we get to him? So that's part of what we've done is that you don't want to overcomplicate things, and still let them just trust what they've done up to this point. So now again, the speed in which the offense will appear to them in the first quarter of the game will take some getting used to. It took us getting used to the speed of App State's offense. And the way we played the run in the second half was dramatically different than the way we played the run in the first half, and there may be some of that on Saturday as well.
Coach, how do you balance that attacking style that you want them to play with while still maintaining that gap discipline against an offense like this?
Well, I've never felt like the two are at odds with each other. I don't think that you have to have gap discipline to play App State. You have to have gap discipline to play FA. There's a mentality that assignment football only shows up when you play option teams. But there's always an A gap, a B gap, and a C gap, and someone's got to be responsible for it. And the demeanor in which they play it really shouldn't change. So I still think the challenge for our guys is to still not let what they do make you play slow, because that's what they want. They want you to become slower, and they've got a lot of things that will make you think and make you try to slow down. And our job as coaches and their job ultimately as players is to play fast and to try to play through those things.
Manny, two things on Chad Thomas. What specifically did he do with his body that you all encouraged him to do, and what's pleasing you about what he's doing on the field now?
I think the big thing with his body, and I think he's an example for the entire football team, is just his conditioning level and the way he got into shape. And that goes into everything. That goes into the work of our nutrition staff. That goes certainly into the work of the strength staff. It's just, it sounds so over obvious, but you can't play your best if you're not in great shape, because ultimately fatigue makes cowards of us all. And so you will start to pace yourself. And when you pace yourself, you're not playing at the physical best of the gifts that you've been blessed with. So when you get in better shape, you know it. And that's the thing, as what we all know in all of our lives. You know how good a shape you're in. You can't fool anybody else, because you understand that when you're tired and when you can't go. So the fact that he's in better shape and can play harder and can go harder gives you an extra confidence. I think when you're stronger, you're more confident. He knows he's stronger. Those are numbers that are measurable. And what we try to do is we try to say, what are measurable ways that we will be better? What are measurable, and not we, that you individually better. And that's where you understand, wow, are you in better shape than you were a year ago? Yes. Are you stronger than you were a year ago? Well, yes, because we can measure that in lift numbers. So I think he was able to take all those things on the field and then be able to play better. Now, that still gets into the experience of playing defensive end. You're going to play better at defensive end in year 3 in your college career, regardless of scheme, coach, anything else. It's just a position that it just takes a while to learn the ropes. And by no means does he have the game whipped yet, but I think you are seeing the natural maturation of a football player.
Manny, how is Shaq done in the middle, would you say? And what, again, the challenge this week, and it's very easy, it seems, to be deceived also by this.
Of course, yeah. No, they do a great job. Shaq has done a great job of more than anything just being physical at the point of attack, and being physical, taking on blocks, being physical, tackling. At times, who gets the most tackles is not always indicative of who plays the best. Like we say, our defense is designed to build a wall, and whoever the offense runs into, that guy tackle. We look at assists sometimes even with more value than the tackle itself. So Shaq has been very good for us in terms of solidifying the inside of our defense.
How unique is what they do? I mean, there's option offenses all over college football, but how unique is specifically what Georgia Tech does? In the scheme of
The
things?
unique part that they do a great job of is that because they're fully committed to it. Like you said, App State ran triple option on us multiple times last week. But when you're as committed to it as they are, they have the little nuances of changing up blocking schemes. That's why you say, well, this guy's got dive, this guy's got quarterback, that guy's pitch. Well, they know that too. So what they'll do is they can block your guy that has dive. Well, now the next guy's got to have dive. They can block your quarterback player. Well, now someone else has to have quarterback. So what they can do is they can change the blocking schemes to change up your responsibilities. So they when you're fully committed to it, they've been doing it for so long, there's not a defense that you can throw at them that they haven't seen. There's only so many ways you can line up it's not a scheme game. The 4 teams that have played them the first 4 weeks have all relatively played the same scheme against them with varying levels of success. So you factor in on who you have and how you play. So we're bringing our guys, and we hope that our guys they have to play, and that's what they're saying with their guys. They got to play better. They got to block better than they did last week. They got to run harder than they ran last week. So we got to defeat blocks better, and we got to tackle guys better. It's still ball. It's still football.